Perhaps something to mention with the Mango Red board, as I said, Sierra One has developed this, we're not manufacturing it. What that means is you can get the Mango Red board from M2M connectivity. That's great evaluation. From there, you can go and actually download the schematics and the Gerbers for this from the Mango website. And you can go and tweak it, and that is a way to really fast track your design. All right, so that is available for you as a great resource for your next generation design, as we've already discussed, right, Paul?
We have, yeah.
Yes.
I just had a question about batteries. You mentioned battery life of 15 years.
Yes.
Now, can you tell me a battery that has a shelf life that will last for 15 years? Because that must be a theoretical battery life.
That certainly is it's a theoretical example that we've taken. I'm no battery expert. I'd need to refer you to a battery supplier, but yeah, that is what the industry is demanding. Especially if you start looking at the utility space, where they're saying, well, we need to deploy a product out there, and it needs to last for 15 plus years. So when you're looking at the battery chemistry and technology, yes, we're not experts in that, but that is what industry is demanding in terms of current consumption. So we're making that available through the technology that you're requiring for connectivity.
So do you have questions?
No, I was just going to mention the long battery life lithium thionyl chloride. They're actually built for 20 years.
Right. Thank you.
We use this in chloride batteries, but they have a discharge rate that would take them out
I mean,
of play within 15
M2M team might be able to help you maybe on the battery side.
I reckon these two gentlemen need to swap business
business
cards. That's why these things are great, right? Awesome.
The way the speed we're updating currently our technology, I don't think we were anything longer up there than 5 years.
Yes. Look, I think the one thing with LT is that, yes, technology does evolve really rapidly, but LT in the IoT space and the carriers are certainly acknowledging that. They need to keep this technology available for a long term, so they need to have backward compatibility, even though we're looking at Cat-M to 5G, whatever that's going to mean. Otherwise, they're going to be hacking off a lot of you guys, right? Because it's about the coverage and the infrastructure that they provide, and yes, it is about the devices that we need to provide to operate on that network. So we all have a role to play within it.
So we're here, guys. If you want to talk anything more after the event, we are here so we can discuss. Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Tyrone. And obviously, a couple of interesting points that I found from there at this point in time was understanding how the power optimization takes place within the module, and also how the module increases the coverage of the network within its own architecture, which I thought was quite interesting. I didn't really fully understand that. And the Mango board, thank you for bringing the Mango board and showing. And as Tyrone said, if you guys are looking for a development board to start up, then please contact myself or Peter, and we can take it from there for you. Now, we're on to the next presentation, and it comes from Guy.
Awesome.
Did I get it right?
You get it right.
And Guy is representing Sigfox and Thinxtra.
Thinxtra.
I'll get that right one day.
Actually, CEO is French
And so-
also, and try to put French word in there.
Well, we'll let you lead on and bring your presentation up, I think.
Just there.
Brilliant.
Okay. There we are. Okay, awesome. So, good morning, everybody. As you heard, my name is Guy, and I'm working for Thinxtra, which is a Sigfox operator. So we'll get into this just today. So maybe what is Sigfox first? So Sigfox is LPWAN technology, low power wide area network technology. I think you guys are all aware since we got this excellent presentation before from Wireless, Sierra Wireless. And so we are a global LP1 operator, so we are present globally, and that's where we intend to be. So what is Thinxtra? So Sigfox is a technology, is also a network operator in France, US, and Germany. But basically you have to imagine that it's kind of a franchisee model, whereby Sigfox Sigfox grants distribution license to some companies like Thinxtra to operate, maintain the network within defined countries. So we have the exclusive license distribution agreement for Australia, New Zealand, and Hong Kong as Thinxtra, right? And so what we do is we roll out this network, and also we try to bring into the journey some partners, some ecosystem partner, to bring the device in, to bring the platforms in, because we are a network operator, and our mainstream of revenue is selling connectivity on our network. That's where we identify ourselves. So we work with partners to provide end-to-end solutions. So why do we fit Sigfox? The technology Sigfox in itself is a fit for IoT, right? It's because, as has been mentioned, several issues have to be tackled. So high energy consumption, I think, has been quite fairly painted previously. The short range, if you take some Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, right, the range is an issue. Let's take the water utility example. You may have some water meters like far down the track. If you have to install a hotspot or repeater every 100 meters, your capex and then your error is. The complexity of it, again, I will take again the example of the Wi-Fi or the Bluetooth. You have a pairing, right? I always take this example. I quite like it. Like I sometimes struggle to pair my mobile phone with my Bluetooth on sound systems, right? So it's okay when it's only one devices, but if I'm rolling out 1 million devices and I need to go on the field making sure my pairing is okay, I might end up having some difficulty. So the complexity of the protocol is also something we need to look after, because it will imply indirect costs, right? And so it will, again, change your ROI. So there are a lot of other things to look into the complexity. And then also what we call in terms of high cost, that is translating into different things like hardware cost, and the capex cost for installation of a network, or the operation of a network. So how can overall, right, can you maximize the ROI? And I think that's what was said by Sarah Wireless previously. So if I'm copying the name, I try my best. Yeah. So it's what has been said, is that it's horses for courses. You need to find what will offer, I think, the best ROI for your customers using the best technology for it, right? And so LPWAN, compared to previous technology, tackle those issues, and within LPWAN, you will have different value proposition that you need to look at to find what is fitting for my customer or for myself. So where Sigfox is at, right, is we believe that like 90% of the IoT market, right, will be composed of really, really small amount of messages. Right? So we don't believe that you need to increase the bandwidth, you need to increase the capacity of your communication channels. We believe that instead you need to reduce it to be into the volume game, where you will reach a really large volume of deployments of devices. That's what we believe will make it work. And why is that? Is because if you look at a manhole cover, for instance, right, you don't need to know much about a manhole cover, right? You need to know if it's open or closed, most likely, and then you extract the value from it. But to know if something is open or closed, you need only one bit of information, 0 or 1. That's that simple. I don't need to send a stream of video from that. Right? And that's where the value for the console is making sense, right? I pay a really, really small amount of that, and I prevent the risk that the manhole is open. And you have a lot of different things with it. You have, for example, that GPS is only can be coded up into 6-byte information, right? 8, could argue. Temperature 2-byte information if I want to know the temperature into the room. If I want to have a trigger for smoke alarm solution, also a really small amount of messages. So that's where we think one of the value proposition line is to be able to trade your bandwidth for small amount of messages and the cost that is within it. So Sigfox is about long range. So in a flat landscape, you could reach up to 50 kilometers. More likely in dense area, you will reach from one base station 3 kilometers, 3 to 5 kilometers, right? But in urban, you might reach more than 50 kilometers. It's a really low-cost network, so you can reach easily $2 a year for connecting your device into this network, right? Which I believe a couple of cents a month is quite competitive. It's a low power, so you can reach 10 years or more battery life. It's indeed related to the battery you are using, but inherent, the technology in itself is really low consumption, is emitting, listening just that defined interval, and that's it all the time, then the module can be off. Simple and secure, so I could spend hours discussing what is secure, so security are kind of different into your network. So if you have dedicated questions, please come back to me and I would be more than happy to share about that. But I think I could spend an hour discussing that, so I won't get much into this. National coverage, so as I said, Thinxtra is entitled to roll out the network in Australia, New Zealand and Hong Kong. So we are mandated to cover 95% of the population in Australia and New Zealand, and 95% of the territory in Hong Kong. We have indeed network operation centers, we have service level agreements, we have more than 300 partners, right, that are making devices, that are system integrators, value-added resellers, working on platform, and that we try to bring with us to win some projects. Sigfox is open, so sometimes people think it's a closed system, but I think the numbers of chipset manufacturers tend to prove that the stack is open with Thinxtra, SST, NXP, and series that are all contributing to that, which also help the rise with the bottom to reduce price. So again, how is that working? You get devices that are connecting into the Sigfox network. Thinxtra is deploying the base station and is working with Sigfox on maintaining the cloud, whereby you do the first level of device management and you ensure that you have kind of paid the subscription, and then you can retrieve this information into a third-party platform, right? Either through REST API or through what we call a callback mechanism, so quite simple. And so small messages, uplink, so from the device to the network. Every message is 12 bytes of information. Right? You've got 14 bytes of headers to encapsulate the IDs and some security measures, right? But you've got access to 12 bytes of data you can use for whatever application you want. And then you've got also the ability to address downlink to the devices. And the downlink is a bit smaller, it's 8 bytes of payloads, right? And so the way it works for the downlink, right, is the device wake up, request a downlink, you get a downlink, so you are never listening, right? So that's one of the trade-offs also for power consumption. That's why we think we are extremely power efficient. In terms of network capacity, one base station can handle more than 1.5 million messages per day per 200 kilohertz of band. So that's what Sigfox is using. So in terms of scale, that's quite interesting. And yeah, so this is it. Just in terms of how Sigfox works, so that's a really, really simple protocol. There is no handshake, nothing. That's a point-to-multipoint protocol. So every message from the device is broadcast to the network and can be picked up by as many base stations as is surrounding it. So right now in Alexandria in our office, most of my devices can be picked up by 13 base stations. So then when the message, when a device is transmitting a message, it's transmitting 3 times the same message at 3 different times, 3 different frequencies. So you have temporal diversity and frequency diversity. And on top of that, since you have a point-to-multipoint network, you have spatial diversity. Those 3 criteria enable us to have a really high quality of services, and so we don't need downlink. And we are quite comfortable with that we can ensure you will retrieve your message through this model. Right. So as I was saying, we are a global network. We are currently live in 36 countries, right? So the good thing is you get one contract with Sigfox or one of the Sigfox operator, and you can then work within all those countries. So you have one subscription to pay, and then we take care about the revenue sharing among us. Right? So that's quite simple in terms of how you deal with the network. So this is it. This is us over there, right? And so yes, targeted to be live in 60 countries by the end of 2018 with India, China, Russia that are coming in, the next big ones. And yeah. This is currently our coverage in Australia. So we are covering 72% of the Australian population, 90% of the New Zealand population, and we are aiming for 95% of the population as requested by Sigfox. On top of that, on a business case basis, right, we can extend our coverage, right? If we just sit down with customer and we see if they request coverage, like we're discussing with people that are working in the middle of Queensland in the solar basins and they needed Sigfox coverage. We went there and we deployed because the business case stands, right? So we are mandated by Sigfox to roll out the network, right, in the urban areas, but we are not limited to it. We are quite flexible and we go where the business is. So this is a base station. One of the pictures, you can see the mast, 70 centimeter antenna. The size of the base station is extremely, it's small footprint, it's smaller than a Foxtel cabinet, and the new version of our base station is even smaller than that. This looks like a Wi-Fi router. And so, as I was saying, one of the possibilities to extend in rural area, right, is to provide what we call a mini base station, and basically you just that comes as a pack with just the power cords and the antenna. Already everything is installed. Just plug it. You install the antenna on a location where you got a bit of height, and then you're good to go. As simple. And I think that will conclude quickly my presentation. I went on purpose a bit fast, and if you have any questions, right, I'm happy to hear them.
Are there any private installation available at all?
No, it's not private. Sigfox is a public network. So, yeah, a couple of things I forgot about this, right? So you can just go into those web page whereby we have a fact. M2M is distributing a development kit called the X-Kit that is working with a really low-cost module called Wisel. This is also an open source dev kit that is working on multiple platform, hardware platforms. So it's provided with an Arduino Uno R3 boards, but every board that are compatible with the footprint of Arduino Uno can do the match. So you can go with an ST Nucleo boards, or you got also some microchip compatible boards or whatever. It has a USB mail port, so you can plug it directly to your computers and address the module through some AT commands. And yeah, this is it. Any question, guys?
No. Thank you, Guy. Okay, again, another great presentation coming from a different perspective. Our last presenter for this morning is going to be Curlink. Curlink is a hardware gateway LoRa concentrator producer, manufacturer, French company, founded in 2004, and they're a founding member of the LoRa Alliance, so it should be interesting to get some great information off these guys right now. Now, which one of you two, are you both doing it? A double act? What is it? So it's Jeremy? God, that's easy. Come on, Jeremy, come on down. This is Jeremy and Anu.
Thank you.